Today we are going to work through what I'm calling a get out of your head flow. So it's a little more energetic than the previous classes that I've done. However, it is still mildly energizing, not too strenuous. And what I want you to think about is nothing, okay? So try not to worry too much about your alignment and just see and feel the experience as it presents itself to you. And then we'll finish with a nice relaxation. So with that, let's come standing. Let's start our practice with our feet hips distance apart. And I would just like you to swing your arms from side to side. Okay, let your arms be heavy and loose. Your gaze straight ahead. Or you can allow your gaze to move from side to side. Lifting one heel and then the other. But if you do feel a little lightheaded, gaze forward. Okay. Now, slow down the sways and pause. Pausing, closing your eyes. Let your arms and your hands be heavy. Soft bend in the knees. Adding a little extra support. Feeling the connection of the toes and the floor, the heels, the balls of the feet. Good. And open your eyes. And shake out your hands, shake out your wrists, bounce into your knees. And let your shoulders come up to your ears and bounce down your back. Just letting everything release. So you're holding a lot of tension from sitting, working on your computer. This flow will serve you well, I hope. Okay, so once we've done that, let's move to the top of our mat. Feet hips distance apart, and we'll start a little slower and then we'll pick up our pace as we go, okay? So feet hips distance apart and sweep your arms all the way up to the sky on the in-breath, and as you exhale, bend the knees into a half squat, and then place your hands on the floor, step into plank pose. Lower the knees down to the floor, hips towards your heels. Lower the forearms slightly, not all the way. Hands a little wider than you think to give you more space. And breathe in and move all the way onto your belly. Tent up your fingers, wider than your mat, elbows up to the sky, tops of the feet firm onto the floor, stretching your toes back. Now pull your low belly in and up into your rib cage, protecting the low spine here. And then as we breathe in, lift from the back of the heart first. So between the shoulder blades. Inhale, we lift. Tuck the chin towards the chest. And then lift and stretch the neck and the crown of the head up towards the sky. Don't worry about how high you go in this moment. And as you exhale, just softly lower your spine back down to the floor. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift from the back of the chest, back of the heart, and then exhale. Breathing in through the nose, big breath, and empty out through the nose, completely exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Now hands down towards your lower ribs. Tuck your toes. Engage your upper arms. Squeeze your elbows in towards your rib cage and press up through a half plank. Then hips back towards your heels. Lift the hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Gaze between the hands, lift high up onto the tiptoes, bend the knees. Knees are pointing out towards the sides. And then right foot, left foot, outside of the hands. Inhale, half squat. Exhale, press into your feet to rise. Big breath in, the arms lift. Exhale, the way down. Plant the hands, let's do that again. Feet back into our plank pose, knees to the floor. Exhale, hips towards your heels. Lower the forearms and we pull the body forward and onto the floor. Relax down, tops of the feet firm down. Tent up the fingers. A rolling cobra. Breathing in and breathing out. How soft can you make the spine? How fluid can you make these movements? And we'll do that one more time with breath. Inhale. Exhale. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, pressing up from the knees, or you can lift the thighs, engage the quads, the glutes, pull the low belly in, press into plank, bend knees, downward facing dog. Nice. High up onto the tiptoes, lean forward, then bend your knees, kind of pouncing. Now, you have an option. You can jump towards the outside of your hands or step again. Inhale. Exhale, we stand. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your chest. Let's breathe in, hands to the sky. Exhale, half squat. Plant the hands, step back plank. Exhale, knees to the floor, hips to your heels. Breathe in, rolling cobra. Let's do just one this time. Breathing in and breathing out. Hands down by lower ribs, tuck the toes, strengthen the quads, the glutes, press up into plank, downward facing dog. Good. Staying here for one breath. Exhale. Toes touch to the back of the mat. Lift the right leg all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, curl the right knee in towards the chest and move your shoulders past your wrist. Keep squeezing the thigh in towards the chest here and then stepping the foot down somewhere, the front beside your hands, and lower the back knee down. Inhale, hands rise. Take some time here. Take your hands to your hips and just some gentle pulses. Just warming up into this posture. Coming back to your breath. Feeling the warmth begin to build in the body. Okay, good. Now you can straighten out the right leg. Maybe fingertips on the floor. And if you have blocks, they're also really good. And then inhale. Anjaneyasana. And in this Anjaneyasana, I really would like you to let the hips sink down. Slightly more passive in this moment. And then exhale, straightening out that right leg. Inhale. And exhale. Now this time as you inhale, lift the back knee, high lunge. And as you exhale, straighten out the right leg, hinging from the hips. And fold only as far as your body will allow. Again, if blocks are available, you can put fingertips on there. But otherwise, hands by your hips. Inhale, high lunge, crescent lunge. Now, full circle, left arm up and open. You pivot your left heel down, warrior two. Okay. And take a few moments here just to pulse in and out, checking your foundation, toes wide, firm through the back of the left foot, and then find stillness. Pull the thigh bones in towards the pelvis, gaze over the middle of the right hand, hand. Low belly hugs in. Now inhale, straighten out the right leg and stretch the right hand forward. Breathing here. Encouraging your breath into your abdomen. Now bending into the right knee, forearm rests gently and lightly on the right leg, and then sweep the left arm up and over your ear. Can you straighten your elbow a little more? Imagine energy shooting out of your fingertips and breathe. Okay, left hand onto your left hip and heel toe your foot towards the middle of your mat. And this will give you a little extra support as you press into your right knee, into your right foot, and then find lightness as you lift your left foot up into a floating half moon. If you like, you can take your fingertips down to the floor or onto a block, but engaging through the core, feeling strong through the foot, the leg. Okay. And then let's turn the left hip down, bend the knee, hug it in towards your chest and roll up. A one-legged mountain pose. Find your balance here. Let me roll out through your foot. Good. Then let's move into Vrikshasana, tree pose. So anywhere on the inner right leg and hands in front of your chest, by your sides, or anywhere up and over your head. Anywhere that helps with your balance. Pressing into your right big toe. Low belly hugs in and up. Maybe a soft bend in the right knee. And release. Feeling that in my right leg. And knee towards the chest. And let's press that left foot back. So moving through warrior three. Just transitioning as we find our way back into a high crescent lunge. Hands down to frame the front foot. And then either you can step into downward facing dog or move through a vinyasa. So the vinyasa today, let's start in plank. Lower all the way down to the floor. Fingertips as wide as the mat. Roll up as far as feels comfortable with your spine. Rolling your shoulders back and down. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then stretch the chest forward. As you lower on your exhale, press hands into the floor. Engage the whole body as you press into a plank pose. And then into downward facing dog. Second side. Left leg all the way to the sky. Exhale. Let's glide the shoulders a little forward. Knee towards the chest as far as it can go. Full compression. Press and dome the upper back. And then step the foot between the hands. Lower the back knee. Anjaneyasana. Settling in a few pulses. Noticing any differences from one side to the next. I can certainly feel that I've got a lot of tightness in my right hip flexor. So not going too hard on that. Just being gentle. Good. Okay, now that half split, that hamstring stretch. Stepping the right knee back and hinging. Only going down as far as feels comfortable. See if you can stretch the chest forward. Left hip hugs back, right hip hugs forward, and then fold. Good. Inhale, rise. Moving through the Anjaneyasana and into the half split. And again. Now this time, as you plant the front foot down, lift the back knee, finding your way into a high crescent lunge. Okay, so finding a stance that supports you. So having your feet on train tracks really helps rather than being on a tightrope. And then straightening out that left leg. My balance is certainly challenged on this side as I reach my chest forward, fingertips back. Inhale, high crescent lunge, rotating the left arm, the right arm all the way up and over, open to warrior two. Okay, again, taking time to find a foundation that is supportive. And then feel into the posture. Nice. Now inhale, straighten out the left leg. Stretch the left arm forward into our variation of triangle pose. And move into the breath. How connected can you be with the breath? Bend into the left leg, forearm on the thigh, and rotate the right arm, bicep over your ear. Remaining long through both sides of the body. Hug the right hip under, the left hip under. Low belly hugs in towards the rib cage and up. Lengthening out through the spine. And keeping your breath even on the inhale and exhale. Okay, half moon pose with a block or without. Finding your lift. Maybe turning your gaze towards the side. Stretching your right hand towards the sky. Remembering to stay active in that right foot as though you are standing on the floor. Good. Okay, now close that right hip down. Pull the knee in towards the chest, a little bend in the knee. And the left knee, and then rise. Okay, and if you wobble, you just work your way back in again. This is all good stuff. And roll out the right ankle. Okay, Vrikshasana tree pose. So foot anywhere on the inner left leg, ideally above or below the knee. And I'm lucky I have a wall here to catch my fall. I hope you do too. That is also another option. You can always move your mat over towards a wall space. Maybe the next time you come back to this practice. Okay, next inhale, right knee in towards the chest. And then we transition through a warrior three. Staying firm in the back leg and active. Left knee bends, high crescent lunge, breath in. And as we exhale, plant the hands down. And either step into a downward facing dog and rest here, or move through your vinyasa. Okay, knees to the floor, hips towards the heels. Pull the body through. Rolling cobras, tented fingers, elbows high. Lift and rise, stretching your toes back. Remembering to keep pulling your navel up in towards the spine. And exhale, lower down. Hands by the ribs, squeeze elbows in, firm body, press up. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Now let's move through that with a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of pace. Don't worry so much about alignment here, just move through the flow. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, knee towards the chest. And as far forward as you can between your hands. Lower the right, left knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, hamstring stretch. Inhale, lift the back knee, crescent lunge. Spin the back foot down, warrior two. Straighten the right knee, reach the hand forward, exhale. Inhale here, exhale, right arm, right thigh. Sweep the left arm by your ear, rotate the rib cage. Maybe gaze up underneath the armpit. Good, left hand to the hip. Gaze out in front of you, finding your balance into your half moon pose. Floating or using support. Choose the challenge that suits you today. Lower the left hip down, squeeze the knee towards the chest slowly. And lift it up. Vrikshasana tree pose. Use a wall if you need. And hands to chest. And feel free to come out and come back in any time you need. Okay, left knee into the chest. Warrior three, straight into high crescent lunge. Big breath in. Exhale, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Your variation of your Vinyasa. Inhale and exhale. Plant the hands, high plank, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, last side, breath in. Exhale, roll shoulders over wrists, knee towards the chest, push and dome. Step forward, lower the back knee, big breath in. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. Press front foot down firm, high crescent, big breath in. Exhale, straighten out the front leg, reach the chest forward, fingertips back. Inhale. Oh, maybe I did a little wrong there. Open up. Warrior two. Okay, inhale, left leg straightens. Get out of my head and into the flow. Stretch the left hand forward. Left elbow to left knee. Right arm by the ear. Open the chest. Rotate the right rib cage up towards the sky. Gaze lifts. Okay, right fingertips to the hip. Setting up for your half moon any way you need. Floating or not. And embrace those wobbles. Embrace the fact that every time you move into these balancing postures, they're going to be a little bit different. 1 minute you can do them, the next you can't. Everything is welcome. It's all part of the process. Lower the right hip down, pull the knee in towards the chest. A big breath in. Vrikshasana, tree pose. And if your left foot is feeling quite fatigued, feel free to come right out of the tree, shake out that foot and come back in. Okay, right knee in towards the chest and sweep it back through warrior three. Slowly lowers, high crescent lunge. And exhale, plant the hands. Your Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Moving with your breath. Pressing up on the knees or full plank. Downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees to the floor. Knees as wide as the mat. Hips towards your heels. Child pose. Allowing yourself a couple of breaths to soften the body. Now on your next breath in, pull the hands back towards the knees and sitting on your heels, just resting in this pose, allowing the blood to move away from the head. Feeling the sensations in the body from all of the movements. Okay, gently open your eyes and let's work our way down onto our backs. So just sweep your feet to any side and take them out in front. Slowly rolling your spine down and pull your knees in towards your chest. Big circles or small circles, hands on your knees, and then change in direction. Okay, finishing with an easy twist. So you can take your arms out to a capital T or cactus your arms, deciding what space is good for you. And then let your legs lower towards the left side. And don't worry if they don't meet the floor or your knees aren't stacked. Just let the left hand rest heavy on your leg without pulling or pushing. And if you like, you can rotate neck and turn your gaze over towards the right side. Can you soften your shoulders a little more? How about your abdomen? Can you relax in your hips and your knees? Where in your body and your mind can you let go? Is there anywhere in your system that is holding on to a little tension? With your exhale, can you soften that space? Okay, big breath in. Knees come back to the center. Let's move over to the right side. So left arm long to a capital T shape. Right hand resting somewhere on your legs, maybe just on the floor. Soften your gaze past your left hand. A gentle, passive rotation. Allowing the eyes to close and the face to soften. Next breath in, knees back to the middle. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. And your next posture here is Shavasana. So allow your legs to stretch out long. Toes fall to the corners of the mat. Tuck your chin ever so slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck, palms facing the sky. Nothing left to do, nowhere to go, and no one to be. Feeling supported by the earth beneath you, allow yourself to drop in and feel held. And when you're ready, just curling in again to a little ball and rolling onto a side if you're ready to end this practice. Or feel free to stay here just that little bit longer, as long as you need. Thank you so much for practicing with me. It's always a pleasure, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Wishing you a beautiful